Greetings, citizens of Azeroth, and welcome to the story of Uther the Lightbringer. Having played a Paladin since the launch of Vanilla, I felt compelled to not only learn as much as I could about all of the well-known Paladins in Warcraft lore, but to also create a video series highlighting their stories. Uther is a great Paladin to start with, as he is perhaps one of the most well-known, as his story transcends generations. In this video, I'm going to cover Uther's backstory, notable places and events related to him in World of Warcraft, as well as list out some cool facts about him at the end. And if you feel compelled, please feel free to add to this story in the comments below. Let's make this a community effort. Uther, known to be a worshipper of the light, apprenticed under Archbishop Fal during the First War. Fal created the Knights of the Silver Hand when he realized that something more was needed to fight off evil in the world. As a result, Paladins were born. Given the Librum of Justice as part of being first to be initiated into the Order, Uther became the leader. The other four founders of the Knights of the Silver Hand, alongside Uther, were Turalyon, Sidon Datharhan, Tyrion Fordring, and Gavinrad the Dire. As the years went on, Uther took part in the Second War, discovered that Alterac betrayed the Alliance, eliminated the Orc presence in Lordaeron, and led the assault at the Dark Portal with fellow Paladin Turalyon, who bestowed Uther with the name Lightbringer, stating, "And I thank you, Uther the Lightbringer," Turalyon replied, and he saw the older Paladin's eyes widen at the new title. "For so shall you be known henceforth, in honor of the holy light you brought us this day." Uther bowed, clearly pleased, then turned without another word and walked back towards the other Knights of the Silver Hand, no doubt to tell them their marching orders. At the conclusion of the Second War, the Knights of the Silver Hand stationed themselves within the Cathedral of Light in Stormwind. It was there that the Order assisted in aiding citizens of Stormwind who were in need. Uther gained a very high status as he served as a mentor and significant figure throughout the realm for settling disputes, training new recruits, and aiding fellow Alliance. As the years went on, he took King Tyrannus' son, Prince Arthas, under his wing to train him in the light. Arthas was exceptionally bright and excelled under Uther's guidance, becoming a Paladin himself. They trained together for many years and grew very close. With the start of the Third War, Uther and Arthas were able to defend Strahd from the raiding Blackrock clan. After receiving word from Jaina Proudmoore that Hearthglen was under attack, Uther hurried back to find that Arthas was barely holding the town from the invasion. Horrified by this, Arthas quickly set out for Stratholme in hopes of finding Mal'Ganis. Upon reaching Stratholme, they discovered that it was infected by the plague. Arthas commanded Uther to purge the city, but Uther refused to do so. This portion of the lore can be witnessed if you've ever done the Culling of Stratholme instance from the Wrath of the Lich King expansion. As a result, Arthas charged Uther with treason and sent the Paladins away. After confronting Arthas' father Tyrannus of what happened, they sent out to retrieve Arthas and bring him home, thinking that the stress he underwent messed with his head and caused him to make rash decisions. Arthas eventually returned home, but Uther sensed that something seemed off about him. During a party to celebrate his return, Arthas marched into the throne room and killed his father using Frostmourne, the Runeblade. Uther vowed to guard Tyrannus' ashes in Anderhall. Arthas returned to attack, as a Death Knight, in hopes of retrieving his father's ashes for necrotic purposes. At first, Uther, having been empowered by the light, had the upper hand, knocking away Frostmourne and weakening Arthas enough to the point as he prepared a killing blow. Suddenly, Frostmourne reappeared in Arthas' hands as he was granted power from the Lich King. The tide of the battle turned in Arthas' favor as Uther fell to his knees, defeated. Uther said to Arthas, "I hope there's a special place in hell waiting for you," and Arthas replied, "I intend to live forever," then slayed Uther. Uther's body was laid to rest in a large tomb which can be found in the Western Plaguelands. The graphics for this were recently updated in Battle for Azeroth, so if you haven't been there in a while, it's worth checking out. The tombstone reads, "Here lies Uther the Lightbringer, first Paladin, founder of the Order of the Silver Hand. Uther lived and died to defend the kingdom of Lordaeron. Though he was betrayed by his most beloved student, we believe that his spirit lives on. He continues to watch over us, even as the shadows close in around our ruined land. His light is the light of all humanity. So long as we honor his example, it shall never fade. Anonymous." In-game, I mentioned you could see Uther and Arthas in the Culling of Stratholme, disagreeing over purging the city. In the Halls of Reflection, a 5-man from Wrath of the Lich King, Uther's soul, having been consumed by Frostmourne, reappears. He warns Jaina that there must always be a Lich King, and if Arthas is destroyed, someone must take his place. And additionally that the Lich King can only be destroyed in the place that he was created, which is the Frozen Throne. If you successfully create Shadowmourne, you're given a badge of the Silver Hand item, which you could present to Uther's soul at Light's Hammer within Icecrown Citadel. You'll witness Uther's soul being freed from Frostmourne. In Cataclysm, a statue of Uther was added into the Cathedral Square of Stormwind. The plaque reads, "Uther the Lightbringer, a righteous paladin, an honorable man, and a dear friend. You will never be forgotten, brother." In Legion, Maxwell Tyrosus consults Uther's spirit on the whereabouts of Ashbringer. Uther's spirit assists you as a paladin in acquiring Ashbringer as your artifact weapon. In general, Uther is well regarded as a hero and a martyr who is loyal until his death. He is known as one of the greatest knights to the Alliance, as well as paladins throughout all of Warcraft lore. Let's move on to some facts about Uther. Uther died 4 days after King Tyrannus was killed by Arthas, at the age of 64. His eye color was described as storm blue, but in Warcraft 3 he had green eyes. He is the author of The Light and How to Swing It, a well-known book that started a level 54 Paladin quest originating from vanilla WoW. He also authored a dedicated plaque for the statue of Turalyon. Uther enjoyed Frostyabi's tobacco, which is part of a quest dating back to vanilla from the Stratholme instance. Uther Lightbringer's gold coin can be fished from the Dalaran fountain. The first art conception of Uther by Samwise Didier made him blind, with a band on his eyes. His blindness was later set aside, and this idea was transported into the character of Illidan Stormrage. The mighty two-handed hammer Lightbringer was forged after the inception of the Knights of the Silver Hand and bestowed upon Uther. And in Latin, Lucifer means Lightbringer. Uther is probably named for Uther Pendragon, a semi-mythical king of Britain, the father of the legendary King Arthur. Additionally, Arthas' name is very similar to Arthur. Thank you for watching this take on Uther the Lightbringer's story. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and please let me know in the comments below who you'd like to see a history video done on next. I'm open to suggestions and really enjoyed not only learning more about Uther's backstory, but putting all of this together. Hit the sub button to see when I upload new videos, and follow me on Twitch to see when I livestream. Thanks again, and I hope you have a great day.